Okay, good morning, everyone. Today I'm going to look at the hands of an entrepreneur, a media magnate or baron, as they used to be called. He's very much the last of his kind from the olden days, say 50, 60, 70 years ago. This is Mr. Rupert Murdoch. He's an Australian. He owns many newspapers, including Sky News and many, many other media organizations. So we're going to look at his hand and try to figure out why he has been so successful in this particular field. So to begin with, if we have a look at his Jupiter finger, you can see it's very prominent. At the base here, all his fingers are very prominent, so very solid, very stable kind of man. You'll notice at the top here that the tip of his Jupiter finger is rounded, it's not squared. So squared of the top here is a different kind of leader. This kind of top is much more of a manager or an administrator. So he's much more of an inspirational type of leader because it's conic rather than square at the top. Remember that Jupiter was the father of the gods, so it's to do with leadership, to do with ambition, managing people, being the person who leads the way. So you can see very, 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 very prominent finger here. And you'll notice also that it's shorter than the Apollo finger. This is your Apollo finger. So this is much more of a risk taker. When the Apollo finger is longer than the Jupiter finger, then usually a risk taker. And of course this man is an entrepreneur and by definition a risk taker. So that's some interesting remarks about his style of leadership, inspirational rather than transactional, not someone who leads in terms of being organizationally efficient, but he's someone who can inspire confidence in others. You see also the other fingers are very, very prominent, very strong. The Saturn finger, the Apollo finger, and the Mercury finger. With the Mercury finger, you can see it's quite long relative to the Apollo finger, so there's lots of confidence. Someone who's a good communicator. You'll notice also here that the top phalange here is very long relative to the other two, which are shorter. So this is to do with someone who likes to learn new things, new ideas, likes to find ways to do something better. So you see, so that's clearly something that's probably helped his success as well. So that's the fingers there. If you look also at the thumb, you see the first digit here. This is to do with willpower. He has a very prominent thumb, very long, and you can see somebody who's not the person who lets anything get in the way of his ambitions and his direction and his focus. So a good long strong thumb there. So that's the fingers. If you look at his lifeline, you see it's very long, it's very clear, it goes out into the center of the hand in a nice smooth arc. There's no breaks, so the energy is very consistent type of energy. Not somebody who flags, at the end of the day, but someone who has very high energy and no breaks at all. You'll see here there's a line here that's what would normally be the headline, but you see something very important here. Is first of all that it's joined, so that's probably difficulty in childhood. That's a common feature of that one. But what's interesting here is the fact that this line is also functioning as a heart line. Normally, people's lines, you would have a headline and then you would also have a heart line like this. But he doesn't. He has two lines joined together. This is called a simian line. Now, a simian line is a line, and people who have this line generally are people who don't get emotional. They're very calm under pressure. They don't allow emotion to get involved in any kind of decision making that they do. And so clearly this has also benefited him because he's obviously in a very high powered business. He owns many companies, and he needs to be calm and not let stress get to him. So this is clearly an indication that this is his personality. You notice that on the Jupiter 2, the lifeline goes right up here to the Jupiter mount, very prominent Jupiter mount. In fact, all the mounts are prominent. You can see Mercury, Apollo, and that's Saturn and Jupiter. But this line going up here shows you that he's ambitious. The fact that he's drawing energy from that mount. So very strong mount also, which no doubt has helped with his leadership. We also have a fate line here, a very long fate line, goes all the way up. That looks like a little star or something here at the end also. It comes right from the base of the palm. So very long career, started very young. You notice also here that there's another line here. So early on in his life, he probably had two choices or two opportunities for careers, but he decided on one of them because that's the one that carries on and goes up to the Saturn mount. He also has another one here which comes from the percussion side of the hand. You can see also goes up to a similar ending point. So two simultaneous careers and two simultaneous opportunities to earn money. So clearly someone with real focus in life, very, very focused in life, and obviously two opportunities to make money along the way. He also has another line coming from the percussion side of the hand, which comes here. This is often a woman or a business partner, someone who's added, this is probably late 20s, who's come and affected his life in a big way, and you see it carries on uninterrupted afterwards. So clearly someone who's added something to his life in a major way. Okay, and you also notice here that he has an Apollo line which goes down to here, right down to the end. So it's a very long Apollo line. So lots of success. The Apollo is to do with success. And he's obviously discovered this from a very early age that he was going to be successful. And he was, of course. And you see there's a secondary one here, a very deep one, that goes down to what would be the heart line, or the headline. It's a simian line here. So later on in life he also has a secondary, kind of like a second wind, where he also becomes successful in another field. It could be business rather than just media and communication. So that's also adding to his value. You see there's a couple of lines here on Mercury too. These are money lines. So he's clearly later on in life he's going to make probably business ventures. He's going to make more money. So all in all, really an excellent hand. The kind of hand that really anyone would be very happy to have. Very, very remarkable life. So if you like this video, like and subscribe and share. And thank you.